In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact strategy that made early retirement on a teacher salary as a single woman possible for me, and how you can start building it right now, no matter where you are. Stay with me all the way through, because the last part is for the woman who thinks she's already too far along to begin. Let me start with something most educators probably don't want to hear, but need to. The paycheck feels like security. Listen, I know. The 15th and the last day of that month, the eagle lands. It feels stable until the day it isn't. And for most teachers, that day comes without warning. God forbid, a health crisis, a budget cut, some life event. And then suddenly, the one thing you depended on is gone. And I feel like we know this on some level. And here's what we often do. We fall into the trap of trading time for dollars. Summer school, after school, all the schools, tutoring, still just one source dressed up as many. And when the job ends, everything ends with it. And you're left feeling like, I worked hard my whole career with not enough to show for it. The good news, recognizing this is the first step. And if you're watching this video, you're already doing that. The strategy I'm about to share with you is not complicated, but it did require a decision I made slowly, imperfectly, and over many years. And you can start making it today. And I created something just for you to help in making that decision. It's my free guide, 5 money moves every woman should make before she retires. The link is in the description. Check it out. Here's the honest truth about where I started. It wasn't glamorous and it wasn't passive, but it was a start. For the first half of my career, building additional income meant trading more of my time. Summer school, after school programs, 7 days a week paper route, it still meant exchanging my time for dollars, just from more than one source. This phase is necessary. It builds the habit of thinking beyond one paycheck. But it has a ceiling because there are only so many hours in a day. The goal is to use this phase as a bridge, not a destination. If this is where you are right now, picking up extra work, working after school, working summer school, you are not behind. You are in phase 1. And phase 1 is what makes phase 2 possible. Keep going. This is the moment everything changed for me. And it happened because of one decision I made in 2000 I almost didn't make. At 8, I turned the townhouse I owned and was living in into a rental property. And for the first time in my career, money was working for me instead of only me working for money. That shift from trading time to building assets is the one strategy. Everything else is just a version of it. Real estate was the path for me, but it doesn't have to be yours. The principle is the same, regardless of the vehicle. Build something that generates income even when you're not actively working. This takes time to build, which is exactly why starting now matters. You don't have to start with real estate. You don't have to start big. You just have to start building something that can eventually work without you showing up every time. That decision, however small it begins, is the strategy. And then something happened that I didn't see coming when I was teaching. I wrote my first book when I was still in the classroom. But then the world changed and it opened a door that I didn't even know existed. Books, yes, but also digital products, content creation, a YouTube channel at 57. Hello. These are income streams that don't require me to be present every time they generate value. I write something once, it works for me many times. I record a video. It reaches women while I sleep. This phase is available to anyone with knowledge, experience, a story. which means it's available to you. The barrier to entry has never been lower. AI tools, simple platforms, smartphone. You don't need a big following to start. You need one person who needs what you know. Your 30 years in a classroom is not just a career. It is content, it is credibility, it is currency. This phase is new to me, and it's the one most women in their 40s and 50s overlook because they don't think it's for them. It is. The online world needs your voice, your experience, and your story. And the tools available right now make it more accessible than it has ever been. But I also know that accessible and I know exactly what to do are two very different things. So if you're sitting here thinking, okay, Mindell, I hear you, but where do I even begin with this for my life, my situation, my story? I'd love to be a sounding board for you. I don't have all of the answers, but I have walked some of this road. And sometimes what you need most is just someone to think out loud with. That's what my 30-minute money and clarity call is. Just the two of us talking through where you are and what the next step might look like. The link is in the description. Come talk with me. Before I close, I need to tell you what this strategy is not, because I'd rather you find out from me than find out the hard way. This is not a get-rich-quick strategy. Oh, how I wish it were. It took me years to build the income streams that made retiring at 53 possible. And some of it was hard. And owning rental properties hasn't always been easy. And books haven't made me rich yet. And I've experienced a difficult financial season, even in retirement. The strategy requires a decision, not a perfect plan. It requires patience because the compounding happens slowly, then all at once. It requires kindness to yourself when it's messy, and it will be messy. The strategy isn't perfect, but depending on one paycheck your whole career, that's the riskiest thing I almost ever did. The women who build financial freedom don't do it because the conditions were perfect. They do it because they made a decision, however small, however imperfect, and kept building. You can be one of those women. You already are. If you're still watching this, my teacher's salary was never going to retire me early. What retired me was the decision to stop letting it be the only thing. You still have time to make that decision. And the best time to start is right now. Not when you're ready, not when conditions are perfect, now. I hope you hear my heart on this one, and I hope it was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.